Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I realised as I turned on the webcam that I had the wrong glasses on. But I have fixed that now, and I am going to be having a look at this puzzle on the screen, which the eagle-eyed amongst you might think is not a Sudoku, but I think it is. It's called Visiting the Actress. It's by the pedaling pianist, whose father... whose father's birthday it was this week, and we solved a puzzle by Stephen, the pedaling pianist's father, earlier on in the week. Anyway, I wasn't actually scheduled to do this puzzle today, but we had a recommendation to have a look at it, and I loaded up the page on Logic Masters Germany, and I was immediately sort of captivated by the look of the puzzle, so I thought I'd have a go at it for you. I did check the comments on Logic Masters Germany as well, and they were basically saying this is brilliant. So this is going to be what I'm hoping will be today's video, but you're all going to see my inexpertise when it comes to chess. I mean, I do know the rules of chess, and I do like watching chess. So you know, if I see that there's a chess competition on, I will very happily watch, especially Magnus or Hikaru play, and I really enjoy the sort of commentary aspects of it as well. So yeah, I am a fan of chess, but I don't consider myself, and well, you're not going to consider me to be a particularly good chess player. But I will do my best, and I hope I will be able to find a way through this puzzle. Which does have a wealth of rules, but I think that this is a position of a chess game, and our job is going to be to recreate how this position arose. So that's what we're going to do today. I've got no idea of the difficulty, I'm afraid, no clue at all. So you'll have to judge it from the length of the video. But what else do I want to tell you about? Well, there's some big things going on today. It's the 1st of June, and that means it is Patreon Reward Day. So if you're a patron of the channel, then hopefully you will already know that at 4 p.m. this afternoon, which is in 2 hours' time for me, but it's in the past for you, we released a brand new Sudoku competition on Patreon. Oh, my screen's not cool. It's not bad. It's not far away. And this is a Sudoku hunt by Itrio. And it's sort of themed on yin yang. It has a story attaching to it. It is absolutely wonderful stuff. I cannot, well, I don't think you'll find many better ways to indulge your puzzle related time than to have a go at Itrio's hunt. Do have a look, see how you go. And you have a chance, if you can get through, I think there are 13 puzzles in all. If you get through all 13, you'll be in with a chance to make a Sudoku video that will appear on the channel in due course with me. So if that might not tickle your fancy at all, but if it does, that is something that we've got launching today on Patreon. And if you're not a patron of the channel, do think about joining us there. It's only a couple of bucks a month, and frankly, there is nothing you can spend $2 on that will give you more hours of pleasure per buck. I guarantee it. If anybody has a competing suggestion, let's hear it, because I will dispute it. Anyway, what else have we got going on? Well, we've got some new apps coming out this week. I talked about this a bit yesterday, but there's sort of collections of Sudoku puzzles by Marty Sears and James Sinclair, and I think they're going to release this week. We're calling them Sudoku Worms, so it's going to be the Sudoku Worm of Marty Sears, the Sudoku Worm of James Sinclair. Get hyped, because I mean these collections are fantastic, and we've got more collections coming very soon from the sorts of constructors that you all know and love. So that is very exciting for us. And the other thing I've got to do today, I will just mention, yesterday there was a bonus video on the channel related to the blueprints streams that we've been doing. So if you have been following those, and if you haven't, you must just check out the game. Blueprints as a game is fabulous. But there was a bonus video yesterday. If you watch the stream, especially if you watched Thursday night stream and you found it frustrating, you may enjoy yesterday's video. And I've got birthdays to do. So let me look at my list of birthdays. Quite a few birthdays today. We'll start off with, I hope I'm going to say this properly, Mauricia, who apparently, due to the threat of severe storms, has had to return early from her vacation. Now, Mauricia is part of a puzzle team, and your team is very determined that you should be in the best of moods, Mauricia. Your team is called Alia Jacta Est, which I think means the die is cast. It's what Caesar said on crossing the Rubicon, isn't it? But they want you in the best of moods because they think you have the biggest brain on their team. And your team is, let me get this right, I think these are made up names. Kenny Poteson, whose real name is Mark, Lady Candy, whose real name is Ron, and M. Night Shamalama Shama, whose real name is Jackie. Yes, they all wanted to wish you a happy birthday. And and Mauricia, I hope you have a happy birthday too, with lots of chocolate cake, of course. The next birthday is Hadi. Hadi is 26 today in Tehran, in Iran. That is absolutely amazing. I didn't know that we had viewers in Iran. But you've been watching for 3 years and you've never missed a video. That is absolutely fantastic. Hadi, many happy returns. I hope that you get chocolate cake and I hope it is heavily iced. Next, Bradley. Bradley, your partner Jordan wrote to us and said you'd appreciate a shout out. I hope it's true and I hope you have a great birthday. I'm not sure where you are. Something makes me think you might be in the States, but I don't know what that thing is. So anyway, Bradley, I hope you know where you are. Next, Lana. Lana down there in Sydney, Australia, if I'm not mistaken. I remember you from previous years. I've shouted out your birthday before, and this year you're turning 8. And I know this because your mum, Samila, wrote to us and told us, Lana, that you like vanilla cake. Chocolate cake is better, but vanilla cake is fine. And Lana, I hope you have a great birthday today, and thank you for watching. Maddie, you've turned 30 today. Now, I know, well, many of you may remember Maddie. Maddie was in the first viewer solve video that we did as a Patreon reward. So Maddie won the competition, and then we made a video where we solved a puzzle together, and Maddie did brilliantly. And well, I know that her friends and family were incredibly surprised at how positive all the comments were on the video, which is an indictment, I think. It's an indictment of the internet because people don't expect comments to be so kind and nice. But it's also a great credit to this community, where actually the overwhelming comments on all our videos are incredibly polite, kind and positive and erudite, and that's thanks to all of you guys. So Maddie, many happy returns. I hope you have a great 30th birthday with, of course, properly iced chocolate cake. Next was a message we had on Instagram. We don't get too many birthday requests on Instagram, but Michael, you've turned 30 as well today. And I know this because Madeline wrote to us and said you'd appreciate a shout out. So Michael, many happy returns. And then finally, a first wedding anniversary to Paul and Rachel, who apparently watch Cracking the Cryptic most evenings. Paul loved the Sphinx puzzles. Well, we all love the Sphinx puzzles. I hope Marty hears this. I think he has been working on more. And apparently Paul now asks for chocolate cake on most holidays, but needs more help to understand the correct ratio of icing to cake. 1-to-1. It's that simple. So there we go. I've revealed it. Rachel is incredibly grateful to have you in her life, Paul. And she's looking forward to more rat runs and desserts in the future. And that is all the news. So I'm going to have a go at this puzzle now. I'm looking forward to this. I don't know why it's called Visiting the Actress. Is that something to do with, what was the Netflix program? The Queen's Gambit. Is it to do with that? I don't know. Anyway, let's read the rules of this. We've got anti-king Sudoku, so we have to place a digit from 1 to 8 in every cell such that a digit does not appear twice in a row, column, box or 2 by 2 area. Okay, so this is going, obviously it's a chessboard, so it's 8 by 8. Okay, so I might just, I don't know how we're going to do this. I might just do this, just to make it clear where the boxes are in an 8 by 8 Sudoku. They're going to be these 2 by 4 rectangles. So you can sort of see it, but it's not desperately clear. So that means those yellow digits there are the digits 1 to 8 without repeat. Those digits in a row are the digits 1 to 8 without repeat. And that I've never seen the anti-king move described as this. So if this square here was a 1, now obviously normal Sudoku prevents a 1 from reappearing in any of those cells. But the anti-king move also prevents those cells from containing a 1. Now the way the pedaling pianist has expressed this, which is totally legitimate, is that you can't repeat a 1 in any 2 by 2 area. I suppose that's true. So okay, now here it gets chessy from now on. It says even more chessy. Proof game in 5.0. Now I don't know if this is, I'm afraid I'm just not erudite about chess nomenclature to know. I don't know, I've never heard of a proof game, and when it says 5.0 it seems to be after 5 moves. So it says the diagram shows a chess game after 5.0 moves, and then it says in brackets 5 white moves and 5 black moves. Draw lines representing each move that has been made up to this point. It says all lines are straight except any representing a knight's move, which is a single line that moves 2 orthogonal steps in one direction, followed by 1 step in a perpendicular direction. All lines are considered distinct from each other, even if they share cells with other lines. Oddly numbered moves, i.e. each player's first, third and fifth moves, are represented by region sum lines. Okay, and then it says box borders divide a region sum line into segments whose digits have the same sum. So this actually is quite confusing, isn't it? So if this... that's probably a terrible, terrible example. Actually, should we use the queen? Yeah. Yeah, that's actually not that stupid. If this does turn out to be a correct move, I'm afraid that's just lucky. But I just want to say, if the queen, if one of the 5 moves that's made here is that this queen goes to there, then you can see that the box borders divide this blue line into 3 segments. That is in box 1. This is in that box there, box 2. And these 2 are in box 4. And what we'd be saying is that that digit is equal to that digit is equal to the sum of those 2 digits. So that is quite an interesting... But that only applies on... or that rule only applies on the first, third and fifth moves. Now, even-numbered moves are represented by Renban lines, and digits on a Renban line form a non-repeating consecutive set. So let's say that instead of making that move on an odd-numbered move, that move was made on an even-numbered move, then, and say this digit was a 1, these digits would have to be 1, 2, 3 and 4 in some order in order to be a consecutive sequence without a repeat. So that's quite complicated. I have got an example grid though, so we're going to be able to look at that in a minute. And then it says crop key, digits separated by a black dot are in a 1 to 2 ratio. We've got one of those. digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. We've got one of those. So let's do some examples there. So if this was a 2, this digit could be 4 because 4 is double 2, or 1 because 2 is double 1. And then on a white dot, if this digit was a 2, that could be 1 because 1 and 2 are consecutive, or 3 because 2 and 3 are consecutive. Oh, and then it says, see this puzzle's Logic Masters Germany page for an example. I've got that, I've snipped it. And a link to an explanation of the rules of chess. Okay, well, I'm going to rely on the fact that I know the rules of chess. If it turns out that this involves some... There are probably rules of chess I don't know. I mean, I know en passant. Well, I'm trying to think. No, I think I do know all the rules of chess. Yeah, I think I do. Anyway, let me show you there's a picture here. So it says, the below example shows a possible position after 4 moves, written below in English algebraic notation. Region sums. Oh, I think I snipped a bit off. I think blue lines are region sums and pink are Renban. So the first moves made were d4. Okay, so a pawn. Yes, okay, so the pawn went 2 forward. And that was an odd move. It was the first move, so that's represented by a region sum line. And you can see there's a blue region sum line. And knight c6 is what black did. So the knight... Yeah, so the knight did... The knight went from this cell to this cell, and that was a region sum line. Oh, getting attacked by a fly. And then the king went to d2. That's a very peculiar move. but apparently that's what the king did. Okay, so it just went, and that was a Renban. I see. So the king went from here to here, and that's a Renban because it happened on an even numbered move. And then n takes d4, knight takes d4. So the black knight took the white pawn, and that was a Renban. And then king to so the king this went to so the king sort of marched diagonally up the board, and then but the third move the king made was a region sum, and then the knight, which is now here, went to f5, so the knight went over here, but that was a third move, so it's a region sum again. And then knight d2, so this knight went to d2, and that was a Renban because it's the fourth move. And knight g3, so the black knight, again a very peculiar move. Why would it do that? I don't know, but anyway, that's where the knight ended up, with another Renban. So I mean, I think I get it. Anyway, we have seen sort of chess mashups before. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if the Pedaling Pianist's father hasn't done a chess puzzle that we've looked at before. I can't remember, because I think that Stephen, the Pedaling Pianist's father, is, I want to say, a famous constructor of chess puzzles. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. I don't know why. I think that is true. Anyway, do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Long introduction today. Let's get cracking. So hang on. So what's going on here? What's going on is that black is 5 moves. 5 moves. So black has played 5 moves and has managed to lose a pawn. That pawn has disappeared. White has played 5 moves and it hasn't lost a pawn. It's got all its pawns, but it has lost a bishop. So black has lost a pawn, white has lost a bishop, and very few other pieces have moved. So it looks to me like how are we going to? Well, let's draw the lines in. It looks like white has done that, and then black has moved its pawn. I don't know how many. Let's go for... Yeah, it's going to depend actually how far white moves its bishop. Let's just go for one. No, I'm going to go for... I'm actually a bit worried now that I've already misunderstood something. I'm actually going to go for 2 moves, but let me just keep going with this. So then I'm going to claim that white does that, so moves its bishop to here, because I want it to take this cell. Now, so the white bishop is going to take the black pawn, and now I need something to take the white bishop. It's got to take the white bishop, and then it's got to get back. Oh, is that true? I'm wondering if it could do something like, oh, whoopsie. If it does something like that, then I was thinking, could the black pawn take the white bishop? I mean, if the white bishop is trying to help reach this position, the white bishop could go there, then the black pawn takes the white bishop, and then the black pawn has to get taken itself. Ooh, I don't see how a white piece can get out and back again. I don't like that. Right, so what we're going to say is, yeah, I know. So the black bishop came out to here. Yeah, I think this works. Right. So the white. Right. So white advances its pawn. The black bishop goes to there. After that pawn move. So the green are the first moves. The second move is that blue, and we'll change this to a different colour. That's the third. That's the third move I think is going on, and then that's the fourth. Well, that's the third move of black. So let's just take stock of where we would be if we did those things. So the white pawn's gone here. The black pawn's gone to e5. The white bishop goes to b2. The black bishop goes to d6. The white bishop takes the pawn on e5. The black bishop takes the bishop on e5. So at this point we've got a bishop here, a black bishop here, and white's got two more moves to make. But white's pieces are perfectly positioned. They are already, after 3 moves, in the finished position. So white's going to do something like, I don't know, oscillate its queen. Its queen could go there and then back again, or its knight could go there and back again. This knight could go there and back again. I'm slightly troubled by that because I don't understand how we'd ever know. But hang on, let me think about what black's got to do, because black, at the moment, there's a black bishop on e5, and that's after 3 moves. So yeah, that's okay. So in 2 moves, the black bishop has to return to f8, and actually it certainly can do that, but by retracing its steps. So it's here at the moment after move 3. It could go back there for move 4, but I don't like that. I don't like that from a Sudoku perspective. So, yeah, sorry. The reason I don't like that is if on move 3, the black bishop... Oh, sorry, my door is creaking. If on move 3, the black bishop goes from d6 to e5, then that is an odd numbered move. So that's saying that this line, this red line I've drawn in the grid, is a region sum line. In other words, that this digit is the same as this digit, and that's fine. But when the black bishop retraces its steps to here, on the 4th move, that's saying that these digits are a Renban, which means that they are a consecutive sequence, and they can't simultaneously be the same number and consecutive with one another. So what? Hang on. So there must be another way of just organising this. If the black bishop is here, the black bishop is here, I've got 2 moves to get it back there. I don't actually see how to do that without retracing my steps. Oh, this is going to be more difficult, isn't it? Yeah, okay, and the other thing that's troubling me here is I think there are at least, I want to say at least 5 possible moves that white could make for its 4th move, because I think white could move the queen to here and then intending to move it back again. It could move the knight to here or here, intending to move it back to here. And it could move that knight from there to there, intending to move it back to here. But okay, so I think I've missed the point. Okay, I'm sorry about this. I've missed something very fundamental about how this problem works. So let's go back now. Oh, hang on. I've got a much more fundamental problem. Hang on a moment. White can't do that. Well, it certainly can't do that for its first move. Oh no! Oh no! It can't do that. Because that is worse. It's worse than that bishop's move thing, because that's creating on the first move a region sum line, and that says that this is the only cell in this box. That's the only cell in this box, so they should have the same value. And they can't from a Sudoku perspective. But that's ridiculous. So the first move has to be a knight. Am I going balmy? But because I'm just saying, if that can't be the first move, I can't move the bishop. I can't. There's a line of pawns. The only thing I can move is a knight for the first move. So my first move with white is a knight, which creates a region sum line. And I could do that as my second move, because of course then on a second move that's going to be a Renban, which means these are consecutive digits. But then I've got to somehow get rid of my bishop. So I've got to then do Okay, so let's recapitulate. The first okay, right. So I was about to say, but I've got the same problem with moving the pawn first with black. I don't quite have that problem because I could move this pawn, which has disappeared off the board. If that did go 2 cells, that would work, because obviously then we're saying this digit is the same as those 2 digits from a region sum perspective, and that's perfectly possible. So the first black move could be a pawn move, but the first white move is not a pawn move. So I suspect we're actually better off thinking about the first black move, which I think is going to be that. It doesn't have to be. I'm not definitively saying that. I'm just saying that that is at least theoretically possible. And then this would be the second move, or the fourth move for white. So let's just say that's gone out to there for the first move. That's gone there, that's gone there. So now I've got to get rid of the bishop. So now let's move the bishop to here as before. Black needs to get its bishop out, doesn't it, in order to take this bishop. Hang on, I feel like I'm out of time here. So the first moves. Actually, let's unify this. So the first moves are blue. Then, so this is the second move of black are red. The second move of white is red. The third move of black is here. So now you see, now I don't know what to do. Now it's broken. I can't do anything. Oh, no, I can't do anything, because what I want to do is, I mean, I can move a knight out or something. This maverick flies over. I could do that, but I've then got to get it back again. At the same time, I've only got 2 more moves. And one of the moves that black needs to make is to take the bishop that's coming here. And then that bishop has to get back there. And this knight has to get back there, all within 2 moves. You can't do it. I am so confused. So I have to... Oh, I see. Right, no, what we could do... Right, so one thing I have been wondering about is how you force... How the first knight's move, and that, because the first move that white makes is definitely a knight. And I've been wondering what restricts that. But what if the knight was what was going to take the pawn? Yeah, so if we move that there. Right, hang on, I need to unwind this. I need to think this through. What I'm proposing now is that I'm proposing these are the first 2 moves. And then I think I'm proposing... Am I proposing that for the second move of white? It could be the 4th move. No, I think that's going to be the second move, because what I want to do is to take the white bishop without moving it first. So if I move that to there, Now I've had two moves. Yeah, now I could move this one and take that, couldn't I? Yeah. Okay. So this is going to work for white. Because, well, the third move for black will be to dip in there. I think this works. This works now. So what we've got is, I mean, it's weird, but what we do is we move the knight out first with the intention of using the knight to capture the pawn that's on e5 and then moving it straight back again. And the way that the black bishop takes the white bishop is that it dives down here, picks it up for a move. Well, actually, let's just be thinking about this. I'm not... Because what I'm now worrying about is, obviously by repeating moves, by having the same move in consecutive turns, just one move going there and then the other move being back again, there and back again, sort of Bilbo Baggins style, I'm having the same line be a region sum and a Renban. Which I think is okay. I think it's okay for both a bishop and a knight for that to be the case, isn't it? But because what you could have on a knight's move, I think, if those were the digits 1, 2, 3 and 4, they obviously are all consecutive, and 1 and 4 add to the same as 2 and 3, so you could split the line up and it would work. But now I'm suddenly thinking, how do I know? Because what would be the... Oh, I know. Oh, this is difficult. Except any represent, which is a... Oh, this is vicious. Right. Okay, so when I was thinking about the knight going from here to here, and then back again, it did occur to me, well, how do I know that the line that I'm creating is this line when I go back again, or indeed when I go there, and not that line? And the answer to that is in the wording of the rules, where it says, all lines are straight except that any representing a knight's move, except any representing a knight's move, which is a straight line that moves 2 orthogonal steps in one direction, followed by 1 step in a perpendicular direction. So actually, what that is saying is that the knight doesn't do that. It doesn't do this, because the knight there would have gone 1 step followed by 2 steps. But what it does mean is that the way it reverses back the other way, so the knight's gone here, then here, it's got to go 2 steps, then 1 step. And then it's got to go, I'm running out of colours here, 2 step, then 1 step to get back there. Now the bishop, I can't even draw it in what the bishop's doing. The fourth, hang on, let me get this right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the fourth move of the bishop is the reversal of the green line. Now there is no ambiguity about that, but I have no ability to draw it in either, because if I try and draw it over the green line, it'll remove the green line. But the purple equivalent of the green is sort of over the top of the green. Yeah, okay. Now, the good thing about this is that I think it works, and I don't think there can be another way to do it. But that's more based on the fact that everything else I tried to do was totally broken. Or, well, it was totally broken by it was very important to realise that could not be the first move of white. It's actually brilliant. It's a brilliant idea, this. It's ridiculously clever. So now... Well, now we must label these lines somehow, mustn't we? Because now we've got to do some Sudoku. So the first move of white is that. It's unambiguously that, and that's an odd-numbered move. So that we're going to label region sum. Region sum and Renban begin with the same letter. Right, region sum. That's what we'll do. Region sum. And then this is the second move. Let's do the white moves first. That's a Renban. And that, just let me think about something else. That can't be the fourth move, can it? No, it can't be the fourth move because the black bishop needs to get in there and get out. So the fourth move has to be the returning home of the black bishop. And if this hasn't even moved out yet, that's not possible. So this is the second move that white makes. So the third move that white makes, which is another region sum, is this one. So it goes there in exactly that way to take the black pawn. Then the fourth move is to return home. So this is a Renban. And then the fifth move, which is this move, is another region sum. So, okay, so that makes sense. I've got 2 Renbans and 3 region sums, which is the correct disposition. Now, the black piece is the first move is the pawn advance, which is a region sum. The second move is the bishop, which is a Renban. The third move is down there to there, which is a region sum. The fourth move, it's a bit hard to show this, but this line and this line do double duty. This line, the going back over it is a Renban. I'll put the R there. And then the reversal of the original red line turns this red line into a region sum. So that's incredibly complicated, what I've just drawn. But it is, I think, correct. And now... Right, now we've got to do anti-king Sudoku. We've got a couple of dots to play with. But, I mean, let's just pause here and admit to ourselves that the pedaling pianist is a total genius. Because this is mad. It's absolutely mad. I used to think string theory was complicated, but no, it turns out drawing the pedaling pianist's chess 5.0 is very complicated indeed. Right, where do we start here? Let's look at... let's look at this digit. That digit looks interesting because that is the sum. This black line is a region sum line. So this is the sum of 3 different digits. So that's got to be at least a 6 because the minimum I could put on here would be 1, 2, 3. And that line, that's got a lot of properties because that's on another region sum line there and it's on a Renban here. Right. So this pink line is a Renban that has a very high digit on it and it's 4 digits long. So whatever this is, 6, 7 or 8, there must be a 5 in that string. Because even if this is 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, so on a 4-cell Renban there is definitely a 5 in those cells. Now we've got a very small region sum here. So right, hang on. Right, so this black dot digit is at least a 3. In fact, it's not a 3. It's at least a 4, I think. Right, let me just explain what I'm seeing there. So this black dot digit, which is this digit, is the sum of 2 other digits in its column. So in theory, it might be able to be 3 if this was a 1-2 pair, but this is not a 1-2 pair, because that would make this cell a maximum of 2. And this is a 4-cell Renban. 2, 3, 4, 5. It couldn't have 6, 7, or 8 on it. So this can't be a 3. It's at least a 4. If this was a 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, that could work. Oh no, hang on, that would put a 4 here. Hang on, that might not work either. If that's a 4, that has to be 3. It doesn't work. It actually doesn't work. That's bizarre. Yeah, let me show you. If that's a 4, this has to be a 1-3 pair. And let's put the biggest digit we can on this pink Renban. And the point is, you can link 3 and 6 on a 4-cell Renban, but only with the digits 4 and 5. We've just put a 4 here. So that can't work either. So this is a massive old digit. It's 6 or 8. And the reason we know, because it can't be 5 or 7, because they don't have digits that are either half them or double them that are Sudokuable. So this digit is 3 or 4. And those 2 digits add up to either 6 or 8. Oh, you know what I've got to do as well, which I haven't been thinking about at all? We must think about this this anti-king rule. Like that digit can't go in any of those cells. Not that it could ever have gone on its own region sum, I suppose, but that digit can't be a 5 because it would knock 5 off my pink line. Oh, how long is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 6-cell line. So it's choosing 6 of the 8 digits. No, I was about to say, but it's got a high digit on it. But actually, if that digit was a 6, then this could be populated with just the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it could be a minimum. How many boxes does this go through? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if it was a 1 to 6 Renban, 1 to 6 add up to 21, and there are three boxes to pass through which have to have the same sum. So each sum would be 7. So if that that would work. If that's a 6, that could be a 1. Bobbins, yeah, and these would be 2, 2, 5, 3, 4 in some order, each adding up to 7. What about if that's an 8 then? If that's 8, it would be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, which is, what is that? 20, 33. Oh, and that's 11. Which would also work, because that would be 3 or 5. Okay, so there's some mathematics here going on, isn't there? It feels like whatever the 6-cell string is that we use, it will be a multiple of 3. I've never thought about this in the context of a 6-cell line. Yeah, I bet that's true, actually. I'm sort of trying to envisage the middle digit. Yes, no, it is. I think it is true, isn't it? Yes, it is true. It is true. It will always be divisible by 3. Okay, that's complicated to see, but the reason the reason you can prove that mathematically is let's say x is the lowest digit on this sequence. then the other digits will be x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 4, and x plus 5, which means that the line sums to 6x plus 15. 15 is divisible by 3, and 6x is divisible by 3, because 6 is divisible by 3. So this will always be divisible by 3, whatever we choose to put on it. Now let me just calculate it though. If this was 765432, it would add up to 27. Oh, and these would be 9. So each thing here is either, so it's either 7, 9 or 11 is the region sum total. And what have we got going on down? We've got the same thing here. We've got a line that where those oh, hang on. Oh my goodness, sorry. Right, look at this line. That is a 3-cell line which has to operate as both a Renban and a region sum. In other words, those two digits are summing to this. So it's a sequence of 3. This has clearly got to be the biggest of the 3. So if this was, for example, was 4, and this was a continuous sequence, 4, 3, 2, well 3 and 2 don't add up to 4. So this has to be 3, 2, 1. That's an actual digit, I think. And this is a 1, 2 pair. And this is a Renban that can't have a 3 on it, so it can't be 2 here and 3 above it. This has got to be a 1 or a 2. Okay, and what do we say the region sum was? We said it might be 7, that would be a 4. Or it might be 9, that would be a 6. Or it might be 11, that would be an 8. Oh no! Oh, that's disappointing. So if that's... It's not... I don't think that can be 8 now. That's quite a big deduction, actually. Because if that's 8, what I worked out earlier was that 8 was associated with each of these 2-cell segments summing to 11. But if that's 8, that can't be an 8 because this is a Renban, don't forget, can't repeat digits. So this couldn't add up to 11, so that has to be a 6, and that's a 3. But that tells us that's not a 6. It tells us that either this line is adding up to 7 or 11, so this is a 1 or a 5. And we might be able to do better than that, I think. If this is a 1, oh, this would be a 4 and that would be 2, 5, so it would work. But if this is a 5, that would be 11. So there would be no 1 or 2 on the line. So this would be 8. Oh, and that would be 4, 7 and it would work. Oh, bobbins. Oh dear. Okay, so that doesn't work. Ah, beauty. Actually, this is sick. Hang on. The pink line has a digit that's at least 6 on it. So it has got 6 on it. I mean, if this is 8 and it's a 4-cell sequence, it's clearly got 6 on it. If it's 7 and it's a 4-cell sequence, it's clearly got 6 on it. Where's the 6 on it? There. It's the only place it can go. So that's a 6. This is huge, because now this region sum has to be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 in the bottom row, there's a triple, the 3 of which is in the right hand side, so that is not a 3. We've got a 1, 2 pair in row. Do I call that row 2? That feels wrong. That feels so wrong. It's row 7 for me in Sudoku land, but look, it's in row 2 of the chess problem. Oh my goodness, right, come on, let's just think this through. So it's quite, no, it's not, it's impossible. Right, where's 3 in this box? There, it's not. There's a 3 in one of those, so it's not in those. There's a 3 here, so it's not there, so that's a 3. And, oh no, I thought that was going to get me a 3 in this box, but it doesn't quite. I thought I might even be able to use the king's move, but I couldn't. So I know there's a 5 on here. I've got another region sum here that I've never thought about. So we've got 6 plus a number is equal to quite a low number plus another number. So the minimum difference between those two digits is 3. If this was 3, then these would have a difference of 3. But if this was, say, 1, these would have a difference of 5. And that would force this to be low, but we don't know whether this is 3 or not. Or, sorry, if it's low or not. If it was only 3, the difference would... Well, no, actually then that could be 4 or 5, because that could be 7 or 8, and it would still mathematically work. Okay, so we have to do something else. Let's, instead of that... This was a region sum, wasn't it? This was the original first move of the black pieces, and now we know that the sum is 6, so we know that these are either 1, 5 or 2, 4. I'm sure that's going to be important somehow. Yeah, 6, 5, 4, 3. This digit has to be high. It can't be 1 or 2 because this is only a 4-cell Renban. So this digit has to be low. And that's probably important. Why? Why are you important? I don't know yet. I have to say I'm absolutely loving this though. This is so original and it's awesomely clever. It is awesomely clever. Can I... Oh, nearly. I can nearly get 3 in that box because it can't be a king's move away from itself. So 3 is nearly in the corner. There's no rule that says that I have to have the same... No, they can't... No, that's nonsense. So I was suddenly thinking, I don't have to have the same chess pieces having the same digits on. I don't have to do that. That wasn't part of the rules. I'm not sure what to do now. No, that's not a good thought. Six is a little bit restricted in box 8. Can't go there. There can't be a king's move away from itself. So 6 is in one of 2 places in box 4. I'm a bit stuck now. This is another region sum line. So the if that was 4 and this is 6, they would have the same parity, and they would differ by 2. If this is 5 and this is 6, these are consecutive, with this being larger. Oh no, I feel like I'm getting stuck now. Why? I don't know where to look. What am I missing? Oh, have I missed a rule? I could well be missing a rule. There are a few rules going on here. I've got the king. Okay, I have got the king's move rule to think about. But I don't think... I've got 1, 2, 3 triples in both of the bottom 2 rows. So this digit is at least a 4. I'm sorry, I haven't got anything clever here at all, have I? Oh, is it going to be? No. Well, hang on. Hang on. Ah, I've got something. Where's 3 in column, whatever that is, column 5? It's not there, is it? And it can't be in there, because this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. So 3 is on this Renban, and in fact is in... Oh, in fact, I know where it is. Oh, Simon. I know where it is. It can't go there. It's in the same column as another, or row as another 3. So that is a 3. And now, right, this is 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank goodness for that. I didn't really understand what I was meant to be doing there. But that feels like a breakthrough. So now, in this column, where is the other of 1 and 2 that's not this one? It's not down there, is it? So it's got to be up there. So that means these squares are 7 and 8, and that's on a white dot. So that's 6, 7, or 8. And there must be a 7 on that white dot, because any consecutive pair of digits has to have an odd number. And the only odd number now we've got there is 7. Now, what can we do next? We can say that don't know yet, but we can presumably say something. Is it going to... Okay, what are those digits then? They're 4, 5 and 6, aren't they? And we know the 6 is on the right hand side. So this digit is 4 or 5. Which might matter. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that does matter. That does matter. Right. This digit can't be a 1, I'm going to claim. Because if it was a 1, that domino there only adds up to 6. And then, because this is going to have some positive value, this region sum won't match that region sum. And that really matters, actually, because now there's a 1 in this domino. In this 1, 2, 3 triple in box 8, the 1 is in this column. It's in those two. And that makes that a 5. So this line adds up to 11, which makes this an 8. Now, where is 8 in this box? I don't think it can go here, because these would add up to 14, and there's no possible way they add up to 14, so that's an 8. These two cells have to add up to 11, and they're made up of 4 and 7. That must matter for some reason. Can that be 7? Because if that can't... No, that can't possibly be 7. Yeah, where's 7 in row 3? Let's call it row 3. And the answer is, I don't know. But it's definitely in those two squares. It can't be here, because that would be a 13 on the region sum, and these two can't add up to 13. So 7 is in here, 7 is in here. Oh, we can use the king's move as well. This can't be 7 now, for many reasons. Sudoku, we'd have 3 7s in these two columns, but also king's move. If that's a 7, you can't put a 7 in row 3 at all. So that's not 7. That digit is even. So that's 7. That's 8. That's... Oh, this is lovely. That's 8, so it can't see another 8. So this is 6. Now, we did have some 6s in the grid. So 6 is in one of those two cells in box 5. one of those 3 cells in box 1. Oh, 6 is placed in box 8. This is a 4-5 pair. Yeah, look, where's 8 in this row? It's got to go here. So 8 is in one of 2 places in box 3. One of 3 places in box 1. But, let's keep going. This 7 means that can't be a 7 by king's move. So that's a 7, that's a 7, that's a 4, that's a 5. That has to be a 1 to add up to 6. So this is a 2, that's a 4. Where's 4 in that box? By the king's move it's there, which makes this a 6 by our old friend Sudoku. Oh, this is superb. Where's 5 in this row? It can't go here because that's a 4-5 pair and we wouldn't be able to put 5 in that box or that row. So that's 5, I think. This is 1 or 2 by Sudoku. This is 1 or 2 by Sudoku. Those are different. Right, so this is adding up to 7 or 8. And, no, both are possible. Aha! Is that actually true? If that's... Oh, it is... that's 2. Yeah, no, it is possible. Bobbins. Okay. Well, I wonder actually. I wonder if we can do some colouring. We might be able to disprove one of those options. But let me just take stock because we've got a real flurry of activity there. Yeah, okay. I want to look at that domino there because this domino is a consecutive pair. That's 6 and that's 5. So we know this digit is exactly 1 greater than this digit for the region sums to equate. Now, that means again we need an odd digit in this domino. What is that odd digit? It's not 1, it's not 5, it's not 3, this is a 3. So it can only be 7, and it can't be with 6 because 6 is there. So that is a 7-8 pair, and I know the order. 8, 7. Okay, that must do something. I see, it gives me an 8 here and an 8 here. So it definitely did do things. How many 8s have I got? Several. I should be able to get all of them. There's got to be an 8 here, I think. Right, so 7. Where does 7 go in this box? It can't touch another 7. It's got to go here. So that's that's great. That's 7, and that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. 1 can't go next to another 1, so that's a 4. Right, and in this column, look, we haven't placed 1, 2, and 3, so this is 2 or 3. In this column, it's 2, 4, 5, and that can't be 4. Look. I suspect there's all sorts of other little tricks we can do at this stage. Okay, yeah, we've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in the bottom row. So we need 4, 5, and 7. That's a naked single 4. This is a 5, 7 pair. This is a 1, 2, and it's not a 1. So that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 2. That's a 2, 3, 1. Now, what was the relationship we needed here? Oh, that 2's touching that, so it's 7, and that needs to be 4 to make that work. So that's 2, that's 4, that's 3. We haven't put 2 and 6. Oh, 2 and 6 has to be that way round by the funny rule, and that's a 5, and that's a 3 by Sudoku. We've not put 1 in this row. This is 5 and 6. This column, it needs a 1 in it, doesn't it? What's the other digit? It's missing 5 by the looks of things. That does that, that. 6 in the corner, 4 here, and we need 2 and 7. If it works, it cannot be wrong, can it? That cannot be wrong. There is no way you luck into that solution, let me tell you. That is spectacular. How long does it take me? 70 minutes. Oh well, I mean, that's not disgraceful, especially as I'm not very good at chess. Let me just check. Is there anything I could have missed here? I don't think there can be. Yes, it's right. It's right. Okay. It's not had many solves, that, but I am now one of them. Why is it called Visiting the Actress? I haven't got a clue. What's that? What on earth is that about? Is that about what's it? Is it Anna Taylor-Joy? Is that her name? She's an actress. She plays chess. Visiting the Actress. I don't know. I don't know why it's called that. That's intriguing. But okay. But let's put that to one side. This is beautiful. I mean, it's a ridiculously good, just plain Sudoku puzzle. If we presented the Sudoku part of that as a puzzle, nobody would complain. It's really very entertaining to solve and interesting. But that has been made out of what I found to be quite a difficult chess puzzle. It's remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable. I hope. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether. I really hope people who don't play a lot of chess aren't put off by that puzzle, because it's fantastic. It's absolutely worthy of being sort of showcased on the channel. It's brilliant, quite brilliant, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm very pleased that that I was tempted to have a go when I saw the Logic Masters page today. Anyway, let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.